Hello, Lady Caroline.
How are you, Daphne?
I'm wonderful, my darling. How are you?
Great. I'm ready. I'm ready to go up to the ski jump on Saturday.
Ooh.
All right.
You know that? We have the oldest ski jump in the United States here in Connecticut.
Oh, where is that?
I did not know.
It's up in Salisbury.
Oh, I did not know that.
All right.
I know
Yeah.
Pam. I know Pam Crowcroft teaches skiing up in Mohawk. Do you know Pam?
It's just a ski jump.
Okay.
And the people, it has trial runs for some of the people who will eventually be in the Olympics.
Oh,
So they have that every year.
wonderful.
I love it.
Yep.
You look well, Carolyn.
Florida.
What?
I say you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Must be the cold weather.
Oh, because I haven't seen you for a while, too.
That's right.
So, it's been a while.
Carolyn referred you to us, Dr. Daphne.
Yeah, yes, she told me. Carolyn, I don't know if you know that Blanche Taylor passed.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yes, she passed last year sometime.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Did she have COVID?
No. She had something else wrong. She went in, they fixed it, and then they wanted her to go back to fix something else. I don't know what it was. And she said no, she didn't want to have a second surgery. So she made the choice to go home.
Yep. We're seeing lots of work.
Yeah.
Just too much work. I just emailed my assistant at work and said, the company I consult with, and said, don't give me any more until the end of next week. We're seeing so many breathing and swallowing problems as a result of inoculations now.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that as speech therapists, we're in charge of all the swallowing and choking disorders. That's a big part of what we do in the medical aspect.
Yeah.
Not in schools or something.
That's one of the good things about being diversified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just letting some people in. Hold on. Okay. Someone's having trouble getting on, so I'm just not managing this.
My camera's acting up.
Okay. I just here. Okay. That explains it.
What town are you in Florida, Daphne?
I'm in West Palm Beach.
Oh, you're in West Palm Beach, sure. One of my highlights was speaking at the Breakers in East Palm Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, are you live streaming this? I saw that you were able to, Dr. Daphne, I saw that you were announcing that you were going to live stream from here.
Okay.
I was just wondering if that's if you're going to do that, but that's all right. A couple of people who could not make it were asking if we were going to record the session. Would you be okay with that or no?
Of course, by all means, yes.
Okay.
Love your attitude, Doc.
Okay. I always like to ask. Never assume. All right, so. Okay. So with the Zoom calls that we've been running, I mean, we just have an open house here at NSA Connecticut. So as people come in, we just allow them to join.
Yes.
As their day is transitioning over. So, some people are joining late tonight. And so we just in our program, we build in the buffer time for that to happen. So we always have a buffer.
Okay.
So we'll wait, a few more minutes. But certainly appreciate everyone being here. The NSA, we've just been through a lot in general over the last couple of years. So we always like to just be transparent about that, talking, as we all are speakers, talking about what's happening. So, and sharing any good news, about what some of the things we're working on. So does anyone have any good news to share? Carolyn.
Tomorrow is February 11th. It's National Be Electrific Day.
It is.
Started it back in 1998. And every year, except for COVID, we've had a big healthcare field.
Wow.
When I started, there was just my Be-Electrific. In other words, when all the electricity is flowing in your body and you feel terrific, you are electrific. And in 1998, I started it as a day to honor Thomas Edison on his birthday, February 11th, and to find the electricity in your own body.
Yeah.
And if you go on and Google the Electrific Day, you will see tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Because since then, we have electric art, we have electric music, we have all kinds of things that the public has put up there. So tomorrow, go and look for Be Electrific Day. And also think about your body as electric, because none of the chemistry would work if the electricity in the body didn't work.
That's
And
right.
that's your brain, your heart, and everything.
That's
We
true.
are all.
Yeah, that's the part of my book that will be out in the spring.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so
It
go
really is.
Google tomorrow and share with your friends. Just say, Google the Electrific Day. And all of the people that have been on and put information on is more interesting than just my information. Because
Nice.
the public has run with it. Yeah. And that used to be my company, Be Electrific.
Yes,
Electric Solutions.
Yeah, when you were at
Yeah.
on Federal Road.
Yes, yeah, we had a center.
That's
for
right.
10 years. 10 years, just alternative health. Yeah.
You should do a video about that tomorrow. You should go on video and talk about
Tomorrow?
it. Yeah.
No, not this year.
Or the 11th.
We just
Yeah.
took down my whole website with the video
Oh.
because it was hacked.
Oh,
Not good.
So we've taken it all down, and there's
That's
enough
horrible.
other stuff. There's tons of stuff on the Electrific Day.
No, that's horrible.
As we started with Chase's event book, and it just
Right.
bloomed. So that's my little bit.
Well, that's great win. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. We're just
Yeah.
talking about wins. Hey, Randy. Hello. Nice to see you. Hi, Ann. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about wins that our recent wins that we've been celebrating since we've last met, which is a month ago. So anything that you have to share? Oh, just can't hear you right now. That's all. Randy just can't hear you speaking. There you go.
You're muted, Randy.
What I'm actually doing is I just went back on our website and I found one person who signed up for this 5 hours ago who may not have the link.
Okay.
And, so let me send that link to her as an invite and then I will come back.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, you got it.
That's good.
I know I was with Kim on a call earlier today. So very good. And I think Carmela is wanting to jump on as well. So hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Lynn. Welcome, Lynn. Hi, Ann. So today we have an exciting chapter meeting for y'all. And, we spend time on our board meetings and really strategize on putting these meetings together for you every month and what would be most helpful given the current times and just where we want to go with our businesses. And so we're super excited tonight to have Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson with us in the house. And she has an amazing background and so many stories to share over really like a 30-year speaking career. So she's really done well at diversifying herself and her business as the economy shifts and as global, shifts happen. And we're certainly in one now. So we're happy tonight to present, have her with us, and really get to know everyone else here at the chapter and really, come together as our members do during this time. And it gives you a chance to also share with us any updates that you have. And so we're just going around the Zoom right now with some wins. And we were sharing some wins from the last month. So I'd like to just open that up to anyone else that'd like to share, anything that's been happening.
Okay, I'll share one.
Okay, Kurt.
Okay, most of you guys know that I've been shifting gears from doing the cybersecurity consulting to be able to start doing cybersecurity speaking. And I recently I'm just doing pro bono at this point, but I recently did one out for an investment group out in Walnut Creek. And what was interesting was the second speaker was an NSA member, a fellow by the name of Larry Pons. And he grabbed me afterwards and said, I'm going to introduce you to a bunch of other people as well. So the only reason I'm saying this is a big win is that here, someone taking care of the new guy coming in, who's, it's just a good NSA community type story.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. Very good. Absolutely. Randy had your hand up. The thing did. Okay, was there? Kim's coming in now right now.
Awesome. Okay, I got that. So a suggestion that Carolyn, because I came in late, grandchildren, just if you could in the chat information of what we can do tomorrow to support that would be great, so that anybody who came in late can see it there. And my win this week is that I'm just so excited that my book came out. So
nice.
Beautiful.
I have one whole copy. The official launch date is February 23rd, although it is on Amazon now. But the thing that will help me the most, and there's a plan for this. If on February 23rd, everybody and their uncle and cousin and next door neighbors would buy the Kindle for 99 cents on that day, then we have a chance of shooting to number one in the category, even if it's just for a day, then it can qualify as a bestseller. So that would help me. Of course, if you really want the paperback too, you can order it as well, but that is going to be full price. But I love books that I can read. This was a crazy idea, and with the help of the community of NSA, who provided advice when I needed it and guidance when I needed it and services that I needed, it went from here to there. And so I'm very excited and very grateful.
That's a really great story. So I know it.
Keep me going. It's simple. Choose your words, change your life. What kept me going is that this has to get out there. So
you're right.
Thank you.
That's a great title. I love it.
February 23rd, and you will most likely be getting some sort of an email from me a week before, the day before, and the day of. I apologize in advance for 4 emails, but people need reminders. I'll make them short and sweet. And I'm so excited. I just got my first Goodreads review from someone that I didn't expect to get one from, and and there'll be bad reviews too because you haven't arrived if you haven't gotten a bad review, and so I'm sure I will arrive.
Right.
But I'm just excited. I did the art, I did the creation. It's out there now. Now it's promotion time, but it's just very exciting to get that book in the mail.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very, very exciting. Exciting times for sure, and it's a perfect time for that launch. All right. Anne, welcome. Nice to see you here. Hello, Lynn and Jeff, Kim. Great to see you again, twice in one day. So good. So we are just getting started, everyone. And if you wanted to introduce yourself, that's fine. Feel free to let us know who you are and what you do. And then we'll kick off into our speaker momentarily. Who would like to go first? Anne?
Sure, I will. Thank you, Loretta. I'm new. I'm not actually a member, but I've been attending some events. My name is Anne Lindsay. I'm an image consultant. I have my own company. I'm also a J. Hilburn menswear stylist. And I'm particularly interested in today's, I'm really, really excited to hear from Dr. Daphne because I have a team also. And I'd love to know how, as she speaks, I hope that you will in part connect your Mary Kay success with how your speaking success, because I think both are definitely related, and I'm wondering if there are parallels that you'll share as you present.
Great. Thank you, Anne, for that very much. Welcome, Lisa. We're just getting started. Some introductions, quickly going around the Zoom. Anyone who would like to go next? Who we're missing here? Jeff, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Jeff Grant. I'm a lawyer and a minister. And I guess my good news is that my law firm launch has been very successful since January 1st. And already have clients all over the country. So I'm thrilled about that. And now trying to figure out, well, it was 20 years of not getting paid, Randy. So now what I'm trying to do is integrate all of these different things, speaking and maybe a book on the way, and we'll see how it all comes together. But this group has been very, very helpful, so thank you.
That's awesome. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Good for you. Good stuff. All right, Lynn, it's great to see you. How have you been? What are you up to?
I am well. I'm Lynn McShella.
Oh, I think your audio cut out for some reason. Okay. We get it. All fine. It happens. So we can try again, or okay, no worries. Just let me know. Okay. Yes, NSA is really one of the best places for resources for sure, and I think we're like the best kept secret. And we've already referenced that a couple of times from both some of you speaking tonight about what you're up to. So we continue to evolve here too in the region, and so there's a lot more exciting things coming, from national and so forth. So it's a really great time to be a part of NSA. Welcome, Lisa. Did you want to say, so we're just going around. I think we are pretty much on track for rolling out tonight's session. I do want to introduce the board of directors to you all, so you know who they are. Kurt Vincent is our treasurer. Carolyn Finch is our secretary. Randy Kay is member at large, membership chair at large. Lisa Lelis is our legacy leader, and really has kept this chapter going for many years, and we appreciate that so much. And I believe Lynn McPhellamy was also involved as past president in the past. So we have a lot of tenure here in the room, and it's really exciting just to be with you all tonight. So are we ready to open up our meeting with our wonderful speaker tonight? Everyone ready? All right, well, let's go, because I have a great introduction about who you are in front of right now. Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I love her brand, unmistakable, unshakable, unstoppable. I mean, powerful stuff. Love it. And she helps entrepreneurs make more money more easily by discovering their one-of-a-kind inner success blueprint. And when her clients when clients work with Dr. Daphne, she helps them stop exhaustion in their business using guru tactics that she has discovered in her own business, and helps business owners, with things that just don't fit anymore, and enrolls them in their own perfect profit path to more money and more freedom. She is the CEO and founder of Marquee Global Coaching and Professional Development, and she studied psychology at UAGC University of Arizona Global Campus. Also went to the University of Bridgeport. Lived in New Milford, Connecticut for many years, and is originally from Montego Bay, Jamaica. Please welcome Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson.
Thank you so much, Loretta, and thank you, Carolyn, for referring me. I am really looking forward to spending time with such an amazing group of people. As Loretta and I spoke briefly prior to opening the meeting, is that I am doing the presentation non-traditionally. I am not using PowerPoints. So you are welcome to ask your questions as we go along instead of leaving them to the end. All right? So many of the points I will share with you tonight is really based on my own life and my own journey as I started. I hail from the sunny island of Jamaica, and at the tender age of 74, I am now on a new divine assignment during this pandemic time. And as I spoke with Loretta on an introductory call when she called me to book me for this presentation, and she chose the topic of minding your own goal, I asked her what was she expecting from the topic. And she asked me, well, what's wrong with the topic? I don't know if she recalled. And I said, nothing is wrong. I just want to make sure I deliver what you're looking to accomplish from the topic. And we both giggle. Minding your own goal is actually a thought-provoking statement that each entrepreneur needs to hear loud and clear. Why am I saying it is thought-provoking? Especially for us that are seasoned entrepreneurs, we tend to get too comfortable and too complacent into what we are accustomed to be doing, in the sense that we are not ready to look in the mirror and say a change is needed. We are not ready to say, I am going to accept that this change is needed, and I am going to do what it takes to bring this change about. And listen to me, please do not fall out your chairs when I tell you, each and every one of us as an entrepreneur or small business owner, whatever title that we give to ourselves, we need to see this pandemic as the greatest blessing. And why am I saying so? This is the time when we get to reposition ourselves to up-level who we are and what we do, so that we will be able to pivot much more stronger in whatever area we are choosing to pivot into. Many people that I've been speaking to over these past 2.5 years during this pandemic time, they don't want to hear the word reinvention. They don't want to hear the word about change, because, oh, I had it so good. I was traveling. 10 times a month. I was at the airport. I could not unpack my luggage because I had speaking engagements after speaking engagement. Now I have to be turning on my phone to see if the dial tone is working because nobody's calling me. Wrong approach, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong approach. So instead of us getting into the panic mode, let's look back in the mirror and say, how can I begin to mind my own goal right now? What makes me different? Because this time calls for us to recreate and reinvent who we are. What allows us to be authentic? What allows us to be unapologetic no matter what? That simply means that we got to step out of the mole of convenience and, for some, entitlement. There are many people who had large corporate contracts, which has then null and void. They don't have that anymore. And what they do, they get into panic mode and they froze up. They forget how to dial the phone. They're under the covers. They are stressed, although they are not accepting that they are going through stress and depression. That is what is happening. So instead of you getting into that victim mentality, I need you to get up, look in the mirror at who is looking back at you and said, what makes me different? Minding your own goal means that you got to be willing to be that red spot on that white linen. The red spot on that white linen. What that means, anyone standing from a mile away will be able to see that red dot. And guess what? That red dot is like a magnet in a pinball. It begins to attract the energy. It's the right vibration that's going out. And you are now going to begin to attract the right people to you. But before you're going to attract the right people to you, you got to see yourself as that bold red dot. That's what makes me stand out. That's what makes me authentic. This is what makes me unapologetic. So no matter what challenges you're faced with, you look at them and you see opportunities. Other people see struggles, you see opportunities. Other people see setback, you see opportunities. And what do we do when we have opportunities? We get energized. We look on what makes us different. And that's what we harness. We ask ourselves, what value do we have to give? We evaluate what we had before, and now we begin to do it differently. One of the things that we as entrepreneurs need to get back to is dialing the phone. Yes, text and email and all of that is good. Let us begin to dial the phone again. Our clients and our customers need us to pamper them. They need to hear our voice. So we got to step out from behind the technology screen and reach out to our people. Call them up. drop them a handwritten note. We got to remind them what we do. Remember, our clients, they have their own life. They have their own struggles. They have their own concern and worries. It's not that they do not want to do business with us, but they have their own issues that they are faced with. So until we get in their faces in a loving way, the truth is they forget about who we are and what we do. We owe it to our clients to give them regular orientation. I remember when I did Mary Kay Cosmetics, every time a new product comes out, it would be time for us as consultants and directors to have a new in-person conversation with our customers. Not necessarily for the sale, but to introduce them to what is new. And needless I tell you that every time we would do that, it never ends without us making a sale. So it is very important for us to do that personal touch with our clients. Let them know that they are important. So, personal touch. Reach out to them. Remind them about what it is that you do. Now, I just heard one of the members introduce himself and saying he's a pastor and he's an attorney. And what I was going to be talking about right at this segment is to ask each and every one of you here. You don't need to tell me, but you can jot it on your papers. Do you really know what your purpose is? What value, not what you are trained for, not what you are certified for, but what's your purpose? What's your life purpose? Each of us was created in this life for a purpose, a divine universal purpose. Not your career, not your profession, a divine purpose. What is that purpose? Once we acknowledge and accept what that purpose is, we will not be getting discouraged about the phone not ringing and we are not getting any bookings. Instead, we can call the people up and we can say, hey, I'm not sure if you know, but this is what I do. These are the problems that I solve. We must be willing to reinvent and recreate who we are. Even if it's something that we offered them before, how can we put a twist on that? How can we tweak it and let it be appetizing for the individual or for the company? We got to be willing to start over. Understanding, starting over is not about failure, but starting over knowing that each new chapter is actually a new book because the last chapter is finished. That's in the history books. Starting over gives us the new opportunity to start and deliver something else. We all have within us what I call our own dialogue of authenticity. We need to identify what that is as well. Too often, we tend to be, it's like we are cloning ourselves with somebody else, and we get caught up in what the trends are, what's the in thing. So instead of honoring our uniqueness and knowing what our authentic dialogue is that makes people attracted to us, we get confused with all the noise and the business that's going on around us. But once you identify your authentic dialogue, you know what your why, your purpose, and your calling is, you're on your way. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it's necessary. So pull your journals out, jot all of those bullet points down for yourself, because once you get it out of your heart and out of your heads and put it on your paper, things become easier for you. You look at it and you say, oh my God, I did not realize this and that and the other until I jot it down on the paper. Now you can look on that and you can see the direction that you are looking to go. The other point, don't be embarrassed to ask for the help that is needed. Because although we have been in business for a number of years, things change. And sometimes we tend to get so busy serving our customers and clients, and we forget to look after our own selves and well-being. We stop investing in ourselves, and sometimes we are caught from the blind side. We don't know what's going on, and therefore we and our businesses are left behind instead of moving forward. So build your own little network or mastermind. Now is the opportune time for us to have unofficial mastermind. If you have a network of people, you can start your own mastermind. It doesn't need to be a paid one. You get on your LinkedIn, you pull some people or other places and say, listen, I know you're doing this, I'm doing that, the other person is doing the other. Do you mind if we get together and form a mastermind group? Mastermind group is where we all bounce ideas off and we help each other out. You'd be surprised to know how much you can build from that. And that same mastermind that you will start as a voluntary one, as it grows and as you have those case studies, you can now make it a paid group, and you can share those case studies with others, and you let it be a paid membership. You're building yourselves, you're building others, and now you have a network of people coming that you will be able to help. One of the other things I like to speak about as I speak about minding your own goal is our blueprint for success. I'm not sure. Are we still hearing?
We can hear you.
Okay. Oh, my apologies.
We can't see you, though.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things I want to point our attention to is something I call the blueprint for success, our manual that we are given at birth. And I call it the blueprint for success. In that manual is the things that tell you what makes you special. Jot it in your journal. It is like you're studying yourself chapter for chapter. We talk about finding our niche. We talk about our elevator pitch. All of those things. It is in that blueprint for success manual that we got at birth. So when we know who we are, we know what makes us special, we don't have to focus on what the other person is doing. We keep focusing on all of the strengths that is laid out in that manual. And that is what we do. Stay committed to it. Don't try to dilute it. Don't try to modify it. Don't try to rewrite it. Just do it. Honor it. Follow it step by step by step. You know what your practices are. What do I have to do in order to manifest? What do I need to do to attract XYZ? What do I need to do? Not what Daphne does, not what Loretta does, not what Carlin does. What do I need to do? And once you stay obedient to that, that is what is going to pull you over the hump. You remind yourself that this is unique to me because what? This is the value I have. So, design your value statement. Tell your value statement to the people who believe in you. Yes, it's good to have a business card, but telling people your value statement will allow them to speak about you, your product, and your service in a special way that your business card will never be able to do. Have you ever met someone and when you tell them about what you do and the problem you solve, and they look at you and say, guess what? I can't use you, but I know 3 people that I'm going to refer you to. The reason they can say that is because you were able to define your value statement to them, and they are able to sell you to somebody else. You know, Mary Kay Ash always tells us, she says, when you want news to go around, you tell a woman, because she's going to find 5 more friends that she tells. And that's how we women do it. So long as we find something that is of value, we are passing it on to somebody else. I don't know if anybody have any question this far, Loretta. I can take some questions.
Okay, let me just check out the chat room here. I don't think I'm seeing anything here. A bunch of comments though. Randy?
Yeah, hi. I love what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense, but I wonder if, since you're a relatively small group, if you could be a little bit more specific I mean, it's good general advice, but I do a lot of things, and so is there a specific writing prompt or a specific something that you can give us to help us write down our life purpose? That's not an easy question to answer, and it's very, very general.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some way we could share this with each other, unless it's a personal thing? Is there a writing prompt or something that would get us to think about this right now? Because it's very easy to hear everything you're saying, and then when we turn off our computers, just forget about it.
Yeah.
So,
Very, very good question. What's her name? I forgot her name. Randy? Oh, Randy. Very good question. It is always a good practice to find someone that you trust and you believe in, and vice versa, who will be able to work this out with you. Here are some clear questions. The first one I like to ask my clients when we're working on identifying their purpose, because I like to say identify and not find, because it's never lost. It's just us accepting it. If you could choose one or two things that keep you up at nights, what would they be? Another good question. What is one thing that you walk around and it really bothers you? You know, some people be walking on the street and they see a little lint on the street and they find a piece of tissue to pick it up and put it in the trash. That kind of a thing. What is it that bothers you?
So is there something that bothers us, or that would bother our ideal client?
No, you, because you're working on identifying your purpose, right? Once you identify your calling and purpose, Randy, once you know how to do it for yourself, if you are looking to do the same thing for your client, once you have the system down pat for yourself, you will be able to do it for your clients. So the first thing to understand is how to do it for yourself. The other thing that is a strong evidence about your calling and your purpose, there is that thing that sits in your gut. We call it gut feeling or intuition. You don't know how you know, but you just know. You know you are going to go. You always drive that route, and something said this morning, I don't drive there. And you don't know why, but you just turn around and you didn't drive there. So obey your intuition and pay keen attention to your gut feeling, that lingering feeling inside of you, Randy. Pay attention. And it is very important. I know I'm speaking to mature professionals, but many of us as mature folks, we stop journaling. And we need to journal, because once we empty out our hearts and our heads on those pages, we become more creative. So go back to your journaling. And I want you to understand that although I'm speaking in general terms, everything I'm speaking about here this evening, it is my intention that not only will you utilize it for yourself, but that there will be portion of it that you could include in your practice and use for your clients as well. So Randy, did that answer your question?
It gave me some things to think about. I will put it that way. I'm just not entirely sure. Like, I don't know your story that well. I don't know how you used it to build your business. I believe in all these things, but I also believe in sometimes not following your gut, because sometimes what's in your gut is your doubt. So these are things that are good to think about.
And
so yes, it partially answered my question.
Okay, so Randy, you said something that's very powerful just now. You said sometime what's in your gut is your doubt. And not until you evaluate what's in your gut will you be able to make the decision. Is it authentic? Is it something authentic, or is it really doubt? So that's a work you have to do, and that's not a judgment. That's a work that you'll have to do. So to give you a little bit about my story, because at 74, I have a long story, right? However, right now, Randy, I am on a new divine assignment. I used to live in Connecticut. I moved in September. I am now on a divine assignment because one portion of my why and soul purpose I ignored for 62 years. 62 years, Randy. I knew I was intuitive. I know I was spiritual, but because I was caught in religion, and Carolyn will tell you, I was very active in the church. I was in the drama. I was in the choir. I was teaching small groups. I was a greeter. However, my intuitive gifting, only about 3 people knew about it. I never told a soul. So a little bit about my story, Randy. It took me to hospitalization. Once with a small intestines obstruction, the other with a stroke. And the Spirit said to me, now, when you get out of these hospital walls, you honor 100% of who you are called to be. And that's why I was divinely assigned to where I am now. So although I knew, I didn't doubt what was my intuition, but I hid it because it was not the religious thing to do.
That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. That helps me to know where you're coming from.
Yes, so I just share that, and as I tell people, Randy, I'm Googleicious. So if you Google my name, you'll be able to see a lot more about the other part of the stories. Okay? So,
okay, thank you.
Yeah, just do the work and be patient with yourself. You talk about whether you should do it with somebody or do it with yourself, one step at a time. Ask yourself the question, am I ready to include somebody in this conversation? Or do I want to do it alone? Because nothing is going to happen until you're ready in here to open up to having somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Nothing happens until we are ready. It's not easy to be vulnerable, but healing and success only comes when we are ready to be vulnerable. That's when real healing and success starts. We got to be ready. Remember when I mentioned about understanding that a change is needed? And say to yourself, I am going to accept that this change is needed and do the work. Listen, it's a rude awakening when we are positioned to start over. Nobody over 35 wants to start over. Instead of grasping the opportunity and say, I'm going to start over, what we do, we get into the judgmental mode and we say, why me have to start over? This person, the other person, and the other person is doing so well. Why me? Instead of embracing it and say, this is my opportunity for new growth. All right? Any other question?
Loretta,
Yes.
did you have a question?
No, I'm reading the comments. There's really great comments in the chat and just notations about what Dr. Daphne's been saying.
Okay.
And I am seeing where was that? I just read that I really loved healing and success only comes when we are vulnerable.
Miss Randy.
That's random. So
That's
The-
just a quote. If Dr. Daphne says something I think is quotable, I'm
Yeah,
just putting
she's
it in the
quoting.
chat. Anybody else see that as well?
Okay.
I just commented that that was really,
Okay.
really great. Thank you for doing that.
The other thing to that will help, I'm going to seeing that Randy says I was generalizing, I'm going to horn in and be more specific on the rest of what I'm doing. So now I am going to speak about things that we need to adopt in our lives that will take us to the next level. One of the things that we have to focus on is gratitude. Gratitude. Because too often we are giving a lot of energy to what we do not have instead of being grateful for what we do have and understanding that by being grateful, it is going to help us to attract more. So, gratitude practices will help us to understand more about our calling and our purpose. You get up every day, like I think Loretta said she went walking and to admire the universe. Let me tell you something. It's one of the best things that we can do when we walk, to have conversation with all of the things that we see on our path. The birds, the flowers, the trees, the skies. Walk with your camera. Take pictures. Have your conversation, because a lot of your answers will come during those times. So gratitude, quiet time. Some of you do meditation and some of you do yoga. Whatever you call it, quiet time, whether it's yoga or meditation, whatever. Please don't get too super religious about the things we are talking about, because that is what leading people astray. Understand about connecting with your universe. Know your source. If you never lay foot into another place of worship, you got to know that you are the church wherever you go, and you got to let your light shine that will attract people to you. So spend the quiet time. Evaluate what is going on so you know where you want to go. Our mindset is the other thing. So we spoke about gratitude. We spoke about quiet time. And now we're mentioning mindset. Listen, when you get like to my age, there are a lot of cobwebs. How willing are we to go in to clean out that mindset we have? Some of these things are generational. Some of these things we carry from the old job, from the old community, from the old relationships. We got to be ready to clean out. Because unless we are ready to clean out, we are going to get stuck right where we are and we are not going to move. So we got to be ready to get rid of the things that are not serving us any longer. Many of the things that we are holding on to is not serving our greatest good. So ask yourself, I've been holding on for this, I've been holding on for the other. How is this serving me? And be honest about the question. Be honest about it. Sometimes we don't want to use it. Ain't none of us that has arrived. We are all a work in progress. But the result depends on our effort. How much do we want to put in to what we want? We got to be able to see the end from the beginning. It's like planning a vacation. If you don't plan for the vacation, you don't know where you're going. It's the same thing with your success and picking up your business now that has been stagnant. Until you're able to specify what you're looking to accomplish, you are not going to be able to reach your destination. So ask yourself, not the old business you are doing, you probably have the same business name. But now it's time for reinvention. Whether you change your name or not, you're going to change your attitude. You're going to change your mindset. You're going to let your people know, well, listen, I'm doing a redesign. Here is what I am offering. It probably means that you have to set up a little something at your house and invite who you used to call your VIP clients to come over. Give them a little wine and cheese. Tell them about what you're doing. And offer them a little discount off of their service for referring you to somebody else. We cannot look on our business as usual, because it's not. If we have had a client for over a year, we cannot be doing business with them the same way. We have to redesign, recreate, reinvent. We got to do something different. We got to do something different. And how are you going to know if you have it right? Again, go back to your vision statement. In other words, what is your sweet sauce? What makes you stand out? Yes, I know some people get marketing and branding expert, but the truth is, the branding experts can't brand you because you are not telling them really who you are. Why do you think you paying them X amount of dollars to brand you when they don't know you? Nobody knows us more than we know ourselves. But we doubt what we know and we are not committed to ourselves. So spend the time to know who you are. Know who you are. What makes you different? What makes you stand out? Don't be afraid to toot your own horn. And don't be afraid to collaborate with others. I can tell you for personal experience that I used to have trust issues. Let me just talk another part of my story before I share this point. I used to have trust issues. I remember when my business was in Brookfield, I used to work with independent contractors. I was so afraid to share my content with them because I thought that they would be sharing my material with their other clients. And it wasn't until one day the Spirit said to me, why are you stressing yourself unnecessarily? You're walking in your calling and purpose, which is authentically what you're called to do. Ain't nobody else in the universe can do you. And I got an awakening and I realized nobody can do you. You got to do you. Even if people copy your stuff, they cannot use it. They will stumble over it. They will baffle over it. They cannot get a word out. So know that you have you to do and nobody else can copy what you're doing. So believe in your calling and your purpose. Any questions, Loretta? Believe in yourselves. Know that every decision that you make is always the right decision. Let me say that again. Believe in yourselves. Know that every decision that you make will be the right decision. So stop second guessing what your God tell you to do and that thing that you know is right. And then you're calling up everybody for 6 months asking them, do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? Do you think I should do the other? You're asking people who are not accomplishing anything for themselves. So what are they going to do? They're going to ask you, why do you want to do that? I didn't know nobody who did that before. So believe in yourself and know that every decision that you make for yourself is always the right decision. Again, ask for help. Do not allow any setback or any individual to send you into shame and guilt. Anything happens in our life is a lesson. Let us take the time to learn the lesson. Be adaptable. If you do it this time and you didn't get it right, so what? I can do it over. Caroline spoke about Edison and the light before. He didn't get it right the first time. What happened? Look at us benefiting now from light. Be adaptable. Be flexible. Get a mentor, I know, again, I know I'm speaking to professional people, but a lot of times we don't think that we need the professional help. And we rip out our hairs at night trying to do it all by ourselves. Get professional help outside of your spouses. Your spouses are not supposed to be your mentor, your therapist, nor your accountability partner. Your spouse is supposed to be your spouse. All the things that you need professional help for, you need to hire somebody for it. Or for those people who are bothering, if you want to bother. But please, leave your spouses the freedom to be your spouses and vice versa. Any questions, Miss Loretta? I don't know why I'm not hearing. Oh, Loretta.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments? Carolyn?
I can give you a comment because I have been working on this, and it is a very difficult job. And it's wonderful when we have coaches and people to help us. I have been a body language expert for years.
Mm-hmm.
I have reached the top by being on many, many TV shows, including the Ellen Show. You can't get a lot higher than that. And as a body language expert, one year I worked for an entire year just on interpreting the body language of the presidential candidates.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I'm saying is that, yes, I still do a certain amount of body language. Got rid of a lot of what I was doing. I happen to work more in the area of medical, interpreting medical body language,
Mm-hmm.
and health, performance, and success. So we've put aside a lot of the body language, and I have come up with different versions of what is called a byline,
Mm-hmm.
or a byline value byline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's spreading joy, humor, and love.
Yes.
And that's now on my information rather than just body language expert.
And Carolyn, thank you for sharing that, because can you imagine for all these many years, if you had only stuck with just the body language, you would not have been able to pivot to where you are now. You would have been sitting thinking, I can't get anything else to do. But all along, you thought about reinventing, recreating, and redesigning what you have to offer.
It's a big job. It's a very difficult job.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of my let's say mastermind ideas
Mm-hmm.
from my patients and my clients.
Yes, that's why
One half of me is medical and the other half is speaking.
Yes, mastermind is powerful, and that's as I mentioned that. Thank you, Carlin, for sharing that. Loretta, how much time do we have? I have a few more points.
Yes, we have 10 more minutes.
Okay, so I mentioned before about opening the manual that we get at birth. So now that we understand about having the manual and we know we open it, now what? Here are a few questions that you need to ask yourself once you understand about using that manual from birth. Ask yourself, what do I need from now? What do I need now? Not what you used to get when you was running the other business, but what do you want now? What are you going to offer to get the result that you are looking for? who what you're offering will benefit. What's the value we give? And again, reaffirm that you're willing to change, you're willing to recreate yourself, you're willing to reinvent who you are. Reevaluate your gifts, your skills, your strengths. Know when you are stuck and design a plan to get unstuck. There are times when we get stuck and frozen in our setback. Instead of being stuck or frozen, let us get re-energized and know that the best is yet to come, because I believe in me and I am committed to my best result. I hope that something I have said you can resonate with. And thank you again for this opportunity.
Wow, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Wow. Dr. Daphne, there's so much wisdom in everything that you shared with us tonight. Thank you so much.